I'm so pleased to introduce Suzanne. I can't give you her prior training off the top of my head because I can't remember it right now, but I'll let her tell you that. But I can tell you, when there are people who are really scholars, this is one. This is a woman who's just dedicated her life to understanding at a molecular level how hormones work. She made a discovery some years ago, which, as is not such a rare story in science, others couldn't quite reproduce. And instead of saying, we can't quite do it, they said, you're crazy, you're wrong, and probably you're making it up or worse. And am I right? That's correct. And for several years, her life was miserable, miserable, because not only was she right, but she knew she was right. And this year, a group of other scientists acting independently have validated every word she said. And it is a critical new discovery which is really transforming how we understand how some women stop responding to hormones. And this is really brilliant work, and I'm so pleased to have her here with us.
Well, us Texas girls are tough. And when no one believes in what you're doing, you go ride your horse when you get off work. Okay. I love the title of the symposium, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because that's truly the story about estrogen. So estrogen requires a receptacle, okay? You kind of look like a lock and key. So estrogen will bind into this lock, and then what happens is the good, it's breast development. So at puberty, you now can respond to the hormone, your breast develops, and all the good things, and we can have babies and feed our babies. The bad is that in the earliest stages of cancer, we call it pre-malignant. You're not treated usually when you're diagnosed with this. Those cells have learned how to turn it on and take advantage of it. So you may take a cell, and this is what Mike Press does, and he looks and he sees a few cells that have this receptor. When you become pre-malignant, almost all the cells have this receptor. So if you have circulating hormone, premenopausal, you have more. Postmenopausal, you have left. There are so many receptors that that cell now takes advantage of it and grows, and that becomes eventually a cancer. So that's the bad. It uses that mechanism to grow. What's the good? The good is we have effective therapies, hormonal therapies, tamoxifen, aromatase inhibitors. So the good is for the majority of women that have estrogen receptor positive breast cancer, we have a drug that will kill any circulating tumor cells, the majority. So that's the good. We've learned how to use them, we've learned how to sequence and use them in combination, and now how to use them longer. So for many women, estrogen receptor positive, the disease can become a chronic disease. And as Mark said, you will die before of other causes than breast cancer. Now, what's the bad again? The bad is, well, some women will not respond as well, and we have to use other agents. And that's a lot of the work that I do is trying to understand, as Benita Katzenellenbogen said, when her tumor is not responding, why? Okay? What are some of those whys when things go bad? When the tumor's not responding anymore. Again, the smart tumor. Smart tumor. It says, okay, if you're going to attack me from this direction, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to use a different fuel and grow. So they can evade it. They find ways to escape that treatment. And we're learning a lot about that. And a lot of new agents are coming online, very effective agents that we're trying in clinical trials now. So we're on to that trick. But what's happened is what Mark had mentioned. Discoveries I did a number of years ago now have been validated by several groups, and that, again, the tumor, dadgummit, is smart. Instead of turning its face and going a different direction, it says, okay, I'm going to mutate this estrogen receptor, and I don't care about your drug. I can grow with that drug. And so luckily, I've been working on this for a number of years, and I think we do have tricks. And now we have a lot of laboratories, I'm so excited, have now turned their attention to it. So I always say breast cancer research really is a community. It really is a large discipline of researchers. As you saw here, it takes many, many different types of scientists to figure out these problems. And again, the good news is that you have a lot of smart brains sitting up here that have turned their resources to understand how that tumor is evading therapy. So I'm very pleased to be here, glad to answer questions. Thank you.